This here is Boom Studios Go-Go Power Rangers comic, issue number 4. This issue begins 4 months before Arrival Day, with Kimberly and her parents dining out. It's not a particularly good night as both parents are arguing, so much so that Kimberly loses it and calls over the waiter. She called over to Zach, but he's actually a busboy, not a waiter. Apparently the salad she got was different from the one she ordered. So this is where the whole salad girl thing came from 2 issues ago. So, Kimberly's parents give Zach a hard time and the manager notices. He fires Zach on the spot. Kimberly tries telling the manager not to fire him, but he tells her the issue is sorted. So Kimberly's parents were a pair of stupid customers in this part of the timeline, as Kimberly didn't actually want to make a big deal out of it. They just blew it out of proportion. Back in the present, and continuing from the last issue, Kimberly is with Matt and Rita's monster is lingering over them. Kimberly is seriously angry here, as she tells the monster it just made the biggest mistake of its short little life. That was kind of scary because of the way she was drawn, but it's a good moment because this just shows how mature and darker the characters are in this remake. Kimberly was about to morph, but Zach enters to knock the monster away. As it gets back up, it starts taking energy blasts from Trini and Billy's blade blasters, making this the very first time the Rangers used them in this timeline. Zach goes over to help Kimberly and Matt, and tries to keep his identity a secret by saying, "Hello, person I don't know." It's one of those lines that are used for jokes, and it was kind of funny in a silly way, but it's not the kind of thing the original Zach from the TV show would have said. The Rangers' dialogue in this series is definitely written with more humour in it. We then see Jason still taking cover inside a building under Principal Kaplan's watch. Jason wants to go out and help, as does Bulk, but Kaplan won't let them as they're under his responsibility at the moment. Some other student tells Jason everyone will be okay because the Power Rangers are out there. That's true, except Kimberly isn't morphed and the Red Ranger is actually there right under his nose. The fight outside continues and Trini says they need the Red Ranger. That's a no-go, as Zach tells her he's surrounded and teleporting him out would blow his cover. I kind of like how Trini said they needed the Red Ranger and not Jason. It ensures their identities are kept secret when fighting in public. The TV show didn't worry too much about this as the Rangers continued using their real names most of the time, but that's because there wasn't anyone else about. So it was good here in the comic because it turned out someone was trapped under some rubble, so people might have learned the Rangers' names if they weren't careful. Billy goes to the rescue and finds out it was Skull who was trapped. Skull thanks him and tries to tell him he and Bulk are like the Power Rangers. Billy asks if he actually is because the Rangers see everything. So Billy is not very forgiving for all the bullying Bulk and Skull have done to him. Kimberly leaves Matt with someone to look after and runs off to morph. As she runs away we can see it's the woman Finster created. So then the woman and the monster are 2 different things. That wasn't entirely clear in the last issue, so I'm glad this set it straight. This monster is called Flog, and Rita throws down her staff like she did in the TV show and makes Flog grow to enormous proportions. In order for the Rangers to fight the giant Flog, the Rangers summon their individual Dinozords, knowing they cannot form the Megazord without Jason. The Zords come from the hiding places just like the ones seen in the TV show. They don't exactly appear in the same order as the TV show, but the backdrops look great and put them in the same environment as the ones shown on TV. Zach is leading this battle in a similar way to how he led the battle against the Green Ranger in the original TV series when Jason was absent. So Zach kind of has leadership qualities already at this stage of this universe. Unfortunately, Zach's plan of attack doesn't work out that well, as his and Trini's Zords get caught and electrified by Flog's tendrils. The Zords don't respond as a result, so Kimberly flies by with the pterodactyl. But according to Kimberly, Flog just farted a smoke screen and she can't see a thing, resulting in her taking a hit and losing control. Again, I can't see the original Kimberly in the TV show saying a monster farted, but I can see Amy Jo Johnson, the actress who portrayed Kimberly, saying such a thing because in real life, she likes talking about fart jokes.
Guess who farted?
You did.
I did the stinkiest fart, and it's so funny.
The Rangers are in trouble without the Megazord, but Zack has a plan. He tells Billy to use the Triceratops to take out one of the power station's pylons, so it takes out Angel Grove's lights. So, with Angel Grove blacked out, the lights go off in the building Jason is stuck in, and that gives the perfect opportunity for Jason to teleport out unseen. With Jason out of there, he's able to call on the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord, which delivers a tail whip to Flog, knocking him against the side of a cliff. Interesting here that the Megazord's cannons are drawn on the back of the Tyrannosaurus. They weren't on there on the TV show, that's not possible on the toys, so this is a Boom Studios original idea. Although it might be a mistake because the cannons weren't on the back of the Tyrannosaurus in their main comic. And what gets even weirder is the Megazord transformation sequence. It's a nicely drawn mechanical assembly, but I don't actually know what it's representing. Is that how the Megazord is transforming in this issue, or is it showing the mechanics of when the Megazord transforms, like it did on the TV show, as demonstrated by my toys here? Well, the Megazord is formed and the Power Sword is summoned. The Rangers take out one of Flog's many tendrils, and then its smokescreen begins to fill the area. It's getting difficult to see around there, but Jason has an idea. In the darkness, the Megazord takes out Flog. And with the monster defeated, the Rangers are informed that the remaining putties have fled. Kimberly wanted to fly to the moon and drop Flog's remains off at Rita's palace. So again, just like the first issue, the Rangers are rearing to go up to the moon. But I think Kimberly is still reeling after Flog attacked Matt, and Billy reckons Rita is sending a message. This is the second attack in 2 weeks and appears to be a pattern. Funny he should say that, as Power Rangers was a weekly show, so of course Rita will attack every week. But this also makes the Rangers realise that there will be more danger along the way. The Rangers go to the youth centre and find lots of people there in good spirits. They're not scared because the Power Rangers protected them. Jason then tells the Rangers the youth centre won't be closing down because Jason volunteered the Rangers to work there. Trini is unsure at first, but Jason says it's a win-win as Ernie gets the help he needs, the Rangers get alibis for when they're on Ranger duties, and it keeps those they care about happy. We then see Trini give her mother a present even though it's been a week since her birthday. Now, Trini gives her mother a stone with Korean writing on it. I don't think Trini Kwan in the TV series was Korean, so this could be yet another mistake. Or maybe it's Boom Studios' reimagining of Trini's ancestry. It reminds me of the third season episode Passing the Lantern, where Adam receives a lantern with Japanese writing on it. Adam didn't understand it because he was Korean. At the command center, Zack is outright asking Zordon why he wasn't the leader. That's out of character for Zack of the TV show, but in this series it's becoming quite natural. Zordon tells Zack that Jason was made leader because he was once like Rita, a person who used his powers to take what they wanted, but he knew he was wrong and is making amends. As established previously, this Jason had a dark past, so it was quite surprising to learn Zordon thought of him as being like Rita. In hospital, Kimberly is sitting next to Matt's bed. Zack enters and Matt wakes up. Zack explains to him that the Power Rangers saved the day. Matt tells them he got punched in the face by the monster, but woke up to two of his favourite people keeping an eye on him. However, this is just an imposter, as the real Matt has been captured by Rita and is imprisoned by her putties like the Nasada astronauts at the beginning of this comic book series. Now that we're a few issues in, I'm enjoying the Rangers' backstories. They're very different from the Rangers of the TV series, which isn't really a bad thing, as this is a reimagining of sorts. But I do find it interesting and awkward in some places, like Trini's ancestry for example. I liked how we finally learned the origin of Kimberly's Salad Girl name after it was introduced 2 issues ago, and it was interesting how she crossed paths with Zack before Angel Grove High, and that it cost him his job. Now, I just have to find out what happens to Matt in the next issue.